This is Polly, she's the brains of the outfit. She works at Desert Road Films. I'm Stephen from Desert Road Films. This is Chris, who's a director. We're one pod, there are two more pods. This year the pods were very different in their choice of selections and their criteria. So you've got a real variety in who you choose and which projects you take.
You know, the different executive producer groups have got slightly different views and feelings and things like that, and that's a great opportunity for filmmakers of all shapes and sizes to fit into.
We're open to all genres, but they just have to be emotionally engaging stories. One of the things that we found was, you know, often nothing's happening till page 5. It's a short film. Something needs to be happening on page 1.
I think it's fair to say, guys, that we're looking for character-driven material that's original. A couple of times in the last round we felt there were well-written scripts that were character-driven, but we'd seen them many times before.
On the first level, what's important is that it's an engaging story to read.
We want our audience to go on a journey with this story and with this experience, and we believe quite strongly that that would probably be through character. So we're looking for stories where characters drive the narrative, where there are strong protagonists and antagonists. There are people that our audience can love, hate, laugh at, laugh with. We're looking for audiences to connect to the people on the screen in some way, on some visceral or emotional level.
We do, as a pod, accept writers without directors, and directors who have written material. So we don't expect people to come as teams. It is preferable that they do, and they've got some team together, but it's not essential.
I would love this round to have a stronger producer element to it, because without the producer, the much maligned producer, these projects wouldn't happen.
So if you are going to be a team, what I'd suggest is to get together early and start working on some drafts, spend some time together, share your creative ideas, check that you're all like-minded, build on each other's strengths and visions, and actually try and make that script a bit more of a collaborative whole between the writer and director where possible.
One of the things that we've just insisted on is anonymity, and what we mean by that is we blind read all of the scripts. We have a number on them, so we take the title pages off, and so we don't know where they've come from. We don't know if it's man, child, beast, woman, what part of the country, rich, poor, black, white, etc., etc. We judge every script on its own merits. See what these things are here? These things are scripts, and there are no treatments, no pitch books, no visuals that accompany. If we love something so much and there was supporting material, we absolutely looked at that then. But this is what got us over the line or not.
And from that we make a short list of up to 10, sometimes less, depending on how many submissions we get, and then we look at who's submitted, and that kind of starts to change the way we look at it.
The weakest aspect of the New Zealand filmmaking industry, I believe, I can't speak for these guys, but certainly the ability to write succinctly compelling scripts that are emotionally engaging, that have the audience in mind, but also have a focus that you could imagine this playing in a Cannes or a Valladolid or somewhere overseas, and actually saying, okay, this is a New Zealand story, but there's a universality in it at its core, which is why it's a world film as opposed to a small parochial film.
I think what we can say about the two films that we finally decided to fund is that they absolutely, in every way, from the very first reading, fulfilled our ambitions for the short films.
Both stories were written, were personal to the writers, so and they wrote from their own experience, and there's something to be said about that, particularly as a young person. You draw on your own experience. It's probably the most authentic thing that you've got going for you.
Think boldly, don't think small, don't be that shucksy New Zealander who's sort of like, hope it goes well. Be bold, and I don't mean that in a prescriptive way or a cliched way. Really dare to let your imagination roam.
We want you to be going to an A-list festival next year with your short film and a feature film inside you that you're going to pitch to someone while you're there.
If you have that story in you and it's a really good story, just go for it.